Hello students, in this video we are going to see an interesting story. Unit 1 Classic Detectives. The Daffodil Case by Ruskin Bond. Okay, what do you mean by daffodil? It's a kind of flower. Okay, the Daffodil Case is a fictional story. So we should know what is called as a fictional story. It is nothing but an imaginary story. So the story was created through imagination. What kind of fictional story? It is a fictional detective story. A person who involves in the situation like finding out the secret crime, illegal or doing wrong things in secret and bring for solution is called a detective or an investigator, and action that deals with the solution of a crime or uncovering the secrets in such fictional stories are called a mystery. So the Daffodil Case falls in this category of fictional detective story. Okay, the Daffodil Case is a prose fictional type story. Prose comes from the Latin word praso oratio, meaning straightforward, either in verbal or written language, which conveys as a short or long story with clear, smooth, good thoughts flow besides sound syllables, word phrases with correct grammar. Prose has basically both fictional and non-fictional story. It is a based on true story. Okay, let's see the summary of what we have learnt. The Daffodil Case is a fictional story. It is a fictional detective story, and the Daffodil Case is a prose fictional type story. Okay, let's see about the author Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond was born in the year 1934. He is an Indian author of British descent, which means his parents, either the father or the mother, would be from Britain, and father or mother would be from India. Okay, so he is an Indian author of British descent. His stories often talk about the lives of ordinary people in and around Dehradun, where he spent most of his childhood. Okay, so he has spent most of his time in India in Dehradun. His story collection of Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra won him the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in the year 2014. Sherlock Holmes. Who is Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes is a fictional detective created by the famous British author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes is known for his skillful observation. Sherlock Holmes not the first fictional detective. There are many more other detectives were there, but Sherlock Holmes was known as one best among the English literature detectives. Okay, It is an imaginary character created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Let's see about Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He was a British writer and physician. He had created the character Sherlock Holmes in 1887 for the novel A Study in Scarlet, the first of his four novels, and 56 short stories about Holmes and Dr. Watson, the friend of Sherlock Holmes. The Sherlock Holmes stories are considered a milestone in the field of crime fiction. Over 125 years after his creation, Sherlock Holmes remains the most popular fictional detective in the history of literature. Okay, so Sherlock Holmes is an imaginary character created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle as a hero or the detective in his stories and novels. Okay, let's move. Do you have a favorite fictional detective? Met Sherlock Holmes. It is Ruskin Bond, the author of The Daffodil Case, has taken or borrowed Sherlock Holmes, the private detective, from one of the stories which was created by British author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which turned out to be one of the most famous English literature. Okay, The Daffodil Case. Students, you could see the daffodil flowers in the picture. The daffodil case flowers are more beautiful. Okay, let's move into the lesson. Time when Ruskin Bond met Holmes. It was a foggy day in March. Ruskin Bond was walking down on the Baker Street, made himself comfortable in that freezing cold. Ambling along Baker Street, thinking of his talk on village life in India, commissioned by BBC. Commissioned here means given a task, and BBC means British Broadcasting Corporation. I realized I didn't really know much about village life in India. So Ruskin Bond thought himself that he didn't uh, know much about village life in India. Anyhow, he was given a task by the British Broadcasting Corporation to give his speech on village life in India. Okay, when he thought about village life in India, the first thing came to his mind was a cow dung smoke smell. In India, it was a customary thing that the cow dung would be used as a fuel for uh, oven. Okay, and also the scent of jasmine also came to his mind. Then the flood waters lapping at the walls of mud houses. Okay, and also he didn't know much about village electorates. Electorates in the sense the people, those who qualified to vote in an election. By the time Ruskin Bond making way back to India House to get some more facts about figures or informations, he realized that he was no more on Baker Street. Wandering at Regent's Park and not sure for way out. So he was wandering around the Regent's Park, London, and he was not sure for way out. And at the time, he met a gentleman wearing a long grey cloak was stooping over a flower bed. Ruskin Bond asked him for way out. His response was with impatient voice, "How did you get in?" It was a shocking moment when he turned him as he was wearing a peaked hunting cap and held a large magnifying glass, steely jaw, and eyes had a fierce expression. So, by looking at that gentleman, Ruskin Bond immediately identified him, and out of surprise, he shouted, "Good heavens, you're Mr. Sherlock Holmes." So, Sherlock Holmes usually wear a long coat and a peaked hunting cap and was known for his keen observation and reasoning abilities. His address was 221B Baker Street, London. And "You, sir," he replied with a flourish of his cloak, "are you just out of India, unemployed, and due to give a lecture on the radio?" So, by looking at Ruskin Bond and his appearance and his speech, immediately Sherlock Holmes identified himself that Ruskin Bond was just out of India. He was from India and unemployed, and he may be giving a lecture on the radio. But how did you know all that? I stammered. So Ruskin Bond was surprised that how that person Sherlock Holmes might have known about him. "You have never seen me before. I supposed you know my name too." So they didn't met before. So how could he knew his name and his place also? Elementary, my dear Bond. Elementary here means simple and easy. Okay, so it is very simple and easy, Mr. Bond. The note paper in your hand and your name is on the envelope which you hold upside down behind it. And also, it is 10 o'clock in the morning, and if you were not unemployed, you would be sitting in an office. Herewith, we could identify the intelligence of Mr. Sherlock Holmes. So, by looking at Ruskin Bond and the paper, note paper in his hands, and also it was 10 o'clock in the morning. If a person was employed, means he might have been in the office, but he is standing in the Regent's Park. Okay, so by uh, identifying these things, he replied Ruskin Bond that it is so simple and easy to identify you. Okay, and how do you know I am from India? I said a trifle resentfully. Okay, uh, the Ruskin Bond was surprised that how could the person Sherlock Holmes might have identified that he was from India. He replied, "Your accent." Accent in the sense, the way in which we are speaking. Okay. Even take our own language, Tamil. You might have seen people of Chennai speaking a different way of Tamil, and also the people of Madurai, they would speak in different way, and the people of Tirunelveli or Kanyakumari, they would speak the same language Tamil in a different way. So that is called accent, or in other words, the mother tongue influence, MTI. Okay, so by that, Sherlock Holmes easily identified Mr. Ruskin Bond that he was from India. And I was about to turn away and leave him when he laid a restraining hand on my shoulder. Okay, so herewith Ruskin Bond tried to move away from that place. By the time he replied, "Stay a moment," he said. "Perhaps you can help me." Here, Sherlock Holmes said, "Stay a moment. Perhaps you can help me." I am surprised at Watson. He promised to be here 10 minutes ago. I wonder what keeps him. Okay. His friend, Sherlock Holmes' friend, Mr. Watson, promised him that even before 10 minutes, he would have been there in the Regent's Park. But still, that time he was not there, not coming to Regent's Park. So he was wondering what may keeps him in reaching the park on time. "In what way can I help you?" I asked. So here Ruskin Bond asked him in what way he could help him. Feeling flattered that the great man had condescended to take my help. Condescended here is something that might be below one's dignity. "Okay, take a look at this," said Holmes, going down on his knees near the flower bed. "Do you notice anything odd?" Anything odd means anything different. So Sherlock Holmes asked Ruskin Bond to look at something and asked him if he was seeing anything different. So here Ruskin Bond replied him, "Somebody's been pulling out daffodils." Somebody might have been pulling out the daffodil case, daffodil flowers. I said, "Excellent, Bond. Your powers of observation are as good as Watson's." Okay, so Sherlock Holmes here appreciated Ruskin Bond that Ruskin Bond had a good observation power. "Now tell me, what else do you see?" So here Ruskin Bond replied, "The ground is a little bit trampled." Trampled means crushed. That's all. So Holmes asked, "By what?" Here Ruskin Bond replied, "A human foot." "And yes, a dog has been here too. It has been helping to dig up the bulbs." Bulbs means the underground part of plants from which new shoots grow. Okay, so they could see a human foot and also dog foot also. "You astonish me, Bond. You are quicker than I thought." So Holmes appreciated Bond that he was quicker than the thought which Sherlock Holmes had in his mind. Now, shall I explain what all this is about? You see, for the past week, someone has been stealing daffodils from the park, and the authorities have asked me to deal with the matter. I think we shall catch our culprit this afternoon. Okay, so what happened previously? Someone was stealing the daffodils from the park, and that case was given to Sherlock Holmes, and by that afternoon they would catch the culprit. I was rather disappointed. It isn't very dangerous, is it? Okay, so Ruskin Bond thought it may be very dangerous seeing a culprit and catching him in the Regent's Park. Okay, so whether Ruskin Bond and Holmes together caught the culprit, caught the thief of the daffodils or not. Let's see in the part 2. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.